Alright, well in this video I'm just going to describe to you a card effect that's 100% hands-free. In other words, you're never going to touch the deck throughout the entire effect, only the spectator does. And secondly, it's extremely clean, the deck is fully examinable, there's nothing to hide. Now, I'll also mention before I describe the effect that I'm just going to see, based on your feedback, if you could just leave a comment requesting the tutorial. If I get enough comments requesting tutorials, I will post a tutorial, a detailed tutorial, as soon as possible. But for now, I'll just describe the effect. Like I said, based on your feedback, I'll decide whether I'll post a tutorial or not. So first off, what's going to happen in this trick is you're going to just show the deck of cards. Now obviously you're touching the deck right now, but you're just introducing the deck. You're just showing just an obvious mix of cards here. Nothing unusual about the deck. You're just going to leave the deck on the table, and now from here on out you're not going to touch the cards. Now what you're going to do next is you're going to have the spectator just pull out their phone, which of course these days most people have their own phones, but if not, of course, just use your own, but whatever. What you're going to do next is have the spectator just punch in some random numbers, multiplying each one in turn. So let's just say, and again, before they do this, you're going to explain to them that you want to generate a number somewhere between 10 and 40, just so we have a number that's fairly deep, representing a card in that location in the deck. So it's got to be somewhere between 10 and 40. Okay. So to do this, we're going to generate a 9 or 10 digit numbered answer, and simply just have the spectator just multiply any amount of numbers each in turn. So say 4 times 8 times 5 times 6 times 3 times 7 times 5 times 8 times 6 times 5 times 2 times 3. Let's see what we got here. So we got a fairly long answer, which again, as the performer, you don't see their answer. You just want them now to call out all of the numbers except the zeros, and just to leave one number to memorize for themselves. And they are not to call out that one number. They're just going to memorize one number. But the other numbers, they call out carefully all the other numbers except the one they've chosen to memorize. Okay, so let's just say they've chosen to memorize one of the 5s. Okay, so they're going to call out all the other numbers. So in this case, of course, it'd be 1, 4, 1, 5, 2, and they're memorizing the other 5 and keeping that to themselves. Okay, so once they call out the numbers, you're going to add all those numbers together. We can write them out in view or whatever on a piece of paper. It doesn't matter if you see those numbers. You're just, getting them to generate a number between 10 and 40, like you said earlier. So let's add those numbers together. So 1 and 4 is 5, plus 5 is 10. Plus 2, 12, and the other 1, that's 13. Okay, so they have a random number 13 written down in view, and they're secretly memorizing the 5 to themselves. And of course, you don't know that number. Okay, so let's just remember 13 in this case. That's going to be their random number between 10 and 40. Okay, based on their answer. Okay, so we're remembering 13, and they have a secret number now, the 5. And what we're going to do next is we're going to generate a completely random suit using their secret number. So to do that, I'm just going to simply call out random suits on my fingers like this, and they're just going to look for the number representing the number finger I flip up, and whatever suit I happen to call on that number finger that they're thinking of, 5 in this case, of course, that'll be the random suit that they're going to think of. Okay, so I'm going to just call out, let's say, clubs, hearts, spades, diamonds, hearts, diamonds, clubs, spades, hearts, diamonds. Okay, so they were looking out for of course, the 5th finger, whatever suit I called out on that finger, that would be their random thought of suit. So in that case, I believe it was the heart that I called out. So they're going to remember heart. So again, you remind them, you could not possibly know what suit they're thinking of, because how would I know what number you're thinking of? So they got this random suit, heart in this case. You then ask them to combine that secret suit that they're thinking of with their secret number, so they have this random secret thought of card that there's no way you could know. So they're thinking of course, the 5 of hearts in this case. Now, what you're going to do next is we're going to look to our number again, which we wrote down a moment ago from the random answer. 13 was the total. So what we're going to do is I'd have the spectator, again, you never touch a deck, you just have the spectator, you instruct them to just pick up the deck and just to turn the deck over so that the deck is lying in its natural position with the top card face down at the top. You then ask them to deal to the 13th card. And we'll see if we arrive at the very card they're thinking of. And again, you could not possibly know what the card is. In this case, they're thinking of the 5 of hearts, so they deal 13. And to deal the cards face up, one at a time too, so we can see all the cards. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, the spectator's doing this. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and here's the 13th card. Now, for the first time, the spectator can name the card they're thinking of before they turn over the next card. And of course, in this case, they're thinking of the 5 of hearts, so they say the 5 of hearts. And sure enough, it's the 5 of hearts. Now, another way you could do this effect, you could actually read their minds and say, okay, think of your card. Let me think, and you could be able to divine what card they're thinking of. And you could say, the 5, or you're thinking of the 5 of hearts or whatever, and you'd be able to do that in this effect, and then you get them to turn over the next card to reveal. Also, again, that not only did you know psychically what card they were thinking of, but it also happens to be right at the 13th card, the random number they generated from their answer. So that's it. So it's kind of a double revelation effect. Again, you know, the deck is completely, you didn't even have to touch it. It's kind of like a burglist style kind of effect to it because the deck is never touched. And again, you can have them examine the deck, and there's nothing to hide in this deck. There's 54 cards, including the 2 jokers. There's no duplicates, and it's that clean, that direct, and that's it. That's exactly how the effect looks. So if you really liked it, I would appreciate you requesting a tutorial in the comments, and if I get enough requests, I will post a tutorial as soon as possible. So thank you for watching. Hope you liked it.